Okay, so welcome. Welcome to the second in our series of Reconnection. And this week we are going to be reconnecting to our soul, which is our voice of conscience. It's that higher self, it's that intuitive knowingness of what's right or wrong for us. So we're going to start in a cross-legged seated position. You can have your block, you can have your bolster, whatever feels good. Bring your hands down onto your knees. And just take a big inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Take another 2 inhales through your nose with your eyes closed. And as you exhale, let go of whatever you were doing before you were here on this mat. And come into your physical body. As you drop your chin to your chest, just feel what's going on at the back of your neck, the top of your spine. And take a couple of breaths here. Breathe in lightness, breathe in freedom, breathe in space. Slowing down the breath as we slow down our practice and we arrive in this moment here, right now. Inhale, lifting your chin to the sky, stretching your throat. Eyes closed, gaze inwards and upwards. Opening that throat area, asking for ourselves to communicate clearly with others. Coming back to neutral, spine nice and long with your eyes closed. So you can just take circles with your spine, like you're bringing your chest forwards, lifting your chin. And then as you come back, rounding your spine, dropping your chin to your chest again. You can bring your breath into this movement. And if the circling feels wrong for your spine, just stay with simple cat-cows, drawing the chest through and rounding the spine. If you're circling, rotate the other way. Finding new places that you can make space. So our last class, we really looked at our physical and emotional, mental body. We connected predominantly to our physical body. And this is such an essential part of ourselves. And coming back to neutral. Everyone's going to come into that cat pose, rounding the spine, dropping the chin. So sort of seated cat pose. Taking 3 breaths now through the middle spine, upper spine. Sometimes we have to work through the physical tension in order to tap into our emotional guidance system, which can directly connect us to our soul. Give us that indication of when something's right or wrong for us. And drawing the chest through. Breathing down into your belly, lifting your heart through. Nice 3 breaths. One more. And coming back to neutral. Changing the crossings of your legs. Bringing your hands to your heart. Just lengthening your spine through the crown of your head. Shoulders drawing back and down. See if you can feel your breath against your thumbs. Watching that exhale as you squeeze at the end of the exhale, let go. And as you inhale, bring in more space. Bring in more light, bring in more peace. Absolutely. If your legs don't feel good, cross-legged, to extend them out. Where in your life do you need more peace? But in that place of peace, we can really see and hear ourselves, our true self. Looking inwards and finding all those things in our physical body we are grateful for. It's easy to get hung up on what's not working, what's not looking right. We can be grateful for our feet to walk, our legs to move, our arms to touch, our mouth to taste. All these experiences that we can have through this physical body as the kind of feeling experience, part of our whole self. Turning the gaze inwards and upwards to third eye. We're going to take a big inhale and exhale. Inhale for Om to begin our practice. Interlacing your fingers, push your palms away from you. Draw the shoulders away. Keep your gaze soft, focus. Take 3 breaths into the back of your shoulders, back of your heart. And then push the palms up to the sky. Bending the elbows, keep the ears away from your shoulders. Allow your face to soften. 1 more breath here. And then exhale, release. Wiggle your fingers, release your wrists. Taking your hands to your sides. Releasing your legs and bring the soles of your feet together. So you might need to be on a bolster or a block or several. We're just going to bow down towards our heels here. This is one of the most grounding positions. So just let your head drop here and notice as this is our first yin pose, notice that dense tension here. Some of us, our heads will just be dropped a little bit, but if you're feeling it, you're doing it. And notice the points where that dense sensation is felt, whether it's in the outside edges of your thighs, your lower back, your middle back, your neck. Taking an inhale, exhale, let the head hang. Notice now where in your body you're clenching, and see if you can bring your breath and your creative imagination into that place. And exhale, imagine it slowly releasing. Even if it's physically not happening, imagine it in your mind. Imagine like you're hinging at your hips, like your belly's going to kiss the floor. Not that this makes you better, not that this makes you more enlightened, not that this makes you more Instagrammable, yeah? Just feeling what you feel, and exhale, soften, let go. And in the space, when we let go of that tension, when we let go of that story, we start to find a place of peace. So if you like, this class is really an exploration for peace. It's always there, even in our greatest discomfort, there is always peace to be found. Exhaling, let go of the chitter chatter, let go of the negative statements, shake your head. If there's tension in your jaw, release your jaw. If you want to go further in this pose, bring the hands underneath the calves so that the stretch is intensified, but only if it doesn't feel too strong. This is known as tortoise. Taking a big inhale, exhale through the mouth. Ground yourself to the earth. Ground yourself through this body. This body which not only experiences, but manifests. It's like you may think ideas, but it's only once you've communicated them, you've galvanized the right people around you, you can start to act upon it physically to make it happen in your life or in the world. Last 3 breaths here. Exhale, soften. Last one. And release, coming upwards. So we're just going to bring our soles of our feet onto the mat, bringing our knees in towards our eyeball sockets, or head towards our knees as far as our head drops. And round the spine here, really exaggerate the rounding as far as feels good for your spinal column. Now really important, if you feel a lot of tension here, not to get frustrated, it's that densest tension in the ligaments and tendons which take a little bit of time and take these kind of slightly boring poses sometimes just to unravel. Have patience and compassion with yourself and your body. One more breath here. Give your body a little cooch, a little hug, and then release. We're going to move away our bolster. And we're going to come to sit on our right foreleg. So if your knee allows, if it doesn't, you can use a bolster. So it's like if you were kneeling, you then just lifted the left foot up. Yeah. So from here, see if you can walk your hands forwards. And just take some small circles into the left hip. Dropping the head. So the hips and the pelvis really store a lot. So even in these kind of small stretches, we're getting into a real dense level of tension. Particularly those of us who have had kids, there's a lot of even the labour trauma even stored here, so be kind with yourself, don't push it too far. And then when you find a comfortable place, see if you can walk your hands towards and just drop your head. You can still keep a little bit of movement here, or you can just stay. So your hands, your arms are walking forwards, both of them. Perfect. There's a little light stretch through the shoulders, both arms reaching forwards, and the left knee coming out to the side. Just half a minute in this pose. If you feel something bubbling up, then just breathe through it and let it go. And again, whatever emotional quality is drawn up by any of these poses, just let it go with the exhale. Look for the place of peace within. Look for that place where you have clarity, where you see that whether your pose looks good does not matter. It's how it feels. It's the quality that it brings within you. Just like in your everyday life. And when something feels good, it feels good from a deep place, not from a superficial place of getting loads of likes on some post or getting gratification for how we look or what we have. I'm talking a deep sense of feeling good. And that's what we need to follow. That deep sense of feeling good comes from our soul. Comes from a place of purpose. 2 more breaths here. 1 big breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And come up onto your hands. So you're kind of in a hands and knees position, but you're on your left toes. Yeah. And exhale, we come deeper. Inhale, we come forward. So that movement, but now with a little bit of movement. And you can take any movement, or you can stick with the standard back and forth. Back to center on your hands and knees. Extend your left leg back behind you. So your left leg is behind. Just rotate your ankle. You'll spread your toes. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Bending your knee. Take 5 circles one way and 5 circles the other. Close your eyes and see what's going on in your pelvis. Just try to feel. We're trying to cultivate and learn the sensations of our body so we can follow them as signs. And then taking that left foot, extend it out straight. Just give it a nice stretch through the length of the spine, and then draw that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Yeah. Hands. Feet, where are they? So draw your left knee back a little bit so that you feel the stretch in your hip flexor. We're going to reach the left arm up, open the heart, open the chest. Yeah, so I'm mirroring. So it's your left foot forwards, left arm up. And exhale, slide the hand in between the foot and the hand. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now place the left hand back down underneath your shoulder blade. Stay here, or grab your bolster, come onto your elbows, and drop your head. If it's successful. If that's too much, then maybe add some blocks, some props. Or some of you may not even need the bolster, or maybe you start with the bolster and then come down onto your elbows. Be compassionate with yourself though, don't go for the depth of stretch. Go for the place where you feel you've got something in your hips. And again, notice where you're tensing. Notice the place where you're contracting, that you don't want to feel. And try to soften with the exhale. Try to create that space again. And if you're not feeling it, then try drawing the right knee back a little bit further. Maybe come deeper down onto your forearms. And with your eye gaze inwards and upwards, try to connect to that place of deep feeling, deep knowing, deep seeing. Whatever challenges have been going on physically in our body, practically in our life, emotionally or occupies our mind, this is our time right now. Just to do a little MOT or NCT. Take all the rubbish to the recycle plant, the garbage dump. Let go with the exhale. If things start to build up now, just allow them to build and then exhale them through the mouth. Make some space. Make this time count. Let go of that deepest tension in the pelvis, the fear that occupies this pelvic region, the pain. that we push down, that we don't want to feel at a time. And now we don't need to overanalyze ourselves, we just need to allow that to go, to create some space, so that every action can be a response and not a reaction, a knee-jerk reaction. One more breath here. And then gently coming back onto your hands, maybe moving the bolster away. We're not quite done with the hip, but we are going to release it a little bit. So bring the right knee in a little bit so that you can circle your hips here. Bring a little release. And then toe heel your foot inside of your hands. So your hands frame the front left foot. And we're going to come into a low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forwards. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, really spread those toes. You're probably feeling it in your hip flexor here. If you're not, draw the back knee back a little bit. Keep your focus just on your movement, just on your breath. Last breath in. Exhale, hands come down. So you can be on your fingertips here, you can be on your hands. You can use a bolster or block to put your hands on if you need a little height. And you can simply drop your head when you found this pose. So now we're really compressing that hip. We're going to really squeeze out what needs to be squeezed out today. Taking your breath into that place of tension. Release the neck, just like you did at the start. Notice how the neck is connected all through the spine. So if you move your head, sometimes you feel it even in your hip. Notice the connection, that's the interconnected tissues. That's the ligaments, that's the tendons that connect these parts of our bodies at a deeper level, physically. Just a minute more here. Use your breath, bringing that space into those places of density. Finding that peace. It's almost like an excavation process. It's almost like we have to uncover the layers in order to really see ourselves. See that part, that directional part, which directs us to what we should truly be doing. In every moment, not just in a great life scheme of things. Last 3 breaths here. Feel what you've got to feel. Let it go with the exhale. Last one. And then lifting up. Ooh, small hallelujah moments. Maybe large. Straightening the front leg. So now you might like a block. We're going to straighten that front leg. So your hips are square and your your toes are pulled towards your nose. So you can stay with this. If your knee is all right, you can bring a bolster underneath that left knee and sit back on your back foot, or allow the foot to come out to the side a little bit. And then fold forward. So the stretch you're trying to get is the back of the hamstring. Are you sure? So stick with the first one if it all gets a little bit complicated. So this is just as good. Perfect. If you're in the seated variation, then you can really let go. If you're kind of slightly raised, you don't want to let go completely because you will fall over. And just drop your head forwards, hinge at your hips. Those of you whose bellies touch your thighs, all well and good. Try and lengthen through the chest and then fold down. And then at the last point, the head fully drops. And there again, you have that connection between the skull and the spine. If you keep your head lifted, it is a completely different stretch than if you let the head drop completely. If letting the head drop doesn't work, make a pillow for your forehead, make a pillow for blocks. Find somewhere that your head can rest on. Whatever feels right with what props you have around you. And if you're in the seated variation, try and maybe draw the left sits bones out a little bit so that as you fold forward, your hips are square. Again, use your breath. Find this new place of density and of tension. And let it go. We've got to do the work in order to keep this body healthy and functioning. We can't just expect to ignore it and it still function as it did in our 20s when we get to our 70s. And there's the obvious physical component of that. But if we don't listen to the calling of our soul, it also manifests as disease in the body, or dis-ease, general tension, maybe emotional charge that doesn't feel good, that spurs anger, that maybe gets sad and upset. And that ultimately ends up lodging itself in one of our organs, one of our joints, and causes us physical issues. So it's not just about going and getting a pedicure from time to time, although that is highly important. Listening to that directional force from within us, so important. And we have depending on how long we live, we have a big calling during each of our Saturn returns, so around 28 and around 56. There's this massive wake up. You know, what life trajectory am I setting myself on? Taking 3 more breaths here. Feeling that stretch deep down into the backs of the hamstrings, the lower back, and even into the pelvis. 1 more breath. Walking up on your fingertips. Ooh, coming forwards. Push away all blocks and props. You draw that left leg out behind you again. Now's the real hallelujah moment, the point of reckoning. Yes, that's what our leg feels like. And remember. So shake the leg and then come back into hands and knees position. Exhale, rounding into cat. Dropping the belly into cow. Exhale and inhale. See what's going on. That spinal column. Take any movement now. The tension that's built up through the week. Maybe start of the release of the work you've done on the first side. And now we have the second side. So coming to kneeling, And then take your right foot and put it on the floor. So we're still sitting. If there's any knee issues here, just come up higher. So you can have your toes slightly pointed outwards. So whether you're sat back on your heel or your bum is up, just bring your arms forwards, reaching out. And again, to start with, just a little bit of motion, a little bit of small circles, just inviting a little opening in the pelvis, the psoas. Take a big inhale, exhale through the mouth as you settle in to hold this pose for a minute. A light stretch through the shoulders as you reach the arms forwards. Perfect. And then the obvious hip opener as well. Nice smooth breaths. Once again. See if you can soften a little deeper as you watch your breath here, your gaze turns inwards and upwards. If you find your mind wandering, watch the breath rising up through the nose to that third eye and then exhaling down from the third eye out again. You might even be able to imagine the breath coming in through the left nostril, up to the third eye, out through the right nostril. Inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling out the left nostril. Now obviously you're not actually doing that, but you're doing it in your mind. You're moving the prana in that way because you have control of it through your mind. If you have control of your mind, you have control of what you're making, what you're creating, physically, astrally, emotionally, what you're creating in this world and in your life. When the mind distracts, watching the breath come in the left to third eye, exhaling out through the right. In the right, third eye, out the left. In the left, out the right. In your own time. Balancing the left and right sides. Again, finding balance within the body. And when there's balance, there is peace. And when there's peace, we can see, we can hear, and we can know. Last 2 breaths here. Take a big inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And again. And then gently coming up to hands and knees. So your weight is in your hands, your forwards. Exhaling back, inhaling forwards, exhaling back, inhaling forwards, exhaling back, inhaling, and then we're going to extend that right leg back. Wiggle the toes, rotate the ankle, keep those hips nice and square. Bend the knee, 5 circles one way. And then the other, reversing. Again, feeling in through the whole body what's going on. Clicks and creaks, stretch, extend that right leg out, long through your spine, long through the crown, and then draw that right foot to the outside of your right hand. Allow your left knee to go back a little bit, using your bolster or blocks or whatever you have handy. Make that pile as big as you need to come down onto your elbows and drop your head. Wherever you're feeling it, breathe into it. Whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's just thoughts, breathe into it. Let go of it. Make that space. Create that place of peace in which you can meet yourself, see yourself, know yourself. In which you know that all of the story doesn't matter. None of those things that you deem yourself done badly or poorly, things you should have done or shouldn't have done. None of that matters, just this moment now. Everything in your past has allowed you to be here now. So be grateful for this moment, for this body, for these emotions, to be able to feel, for this brain and mind in order to think. Go deeper if you need to go deeper, back off if you need to back off. Again, if the mind distracts, come to watch the breath. Feel what it's like here. And could we bring that into our daily life? You know, when we move into new places, whether it's work, whether it's friends, whether it's something completely new. Can we check in with ourselves? How are we feeling? Where do I need to change? What position? Do I need to change physically? Emotionally? Maybe I need to say something in a different way. Maybe I need to express. Maybe I need to actually be quiet. Back off if you need to. Last 30 seconds here. Look at what you've got. Look at what's in the way of your deeper connection. Is it the chitter-chatter in your mind? You're one of those people that is constantly going in the brain, in the mind. And this is in the way. This is in the way of your connection with yourself. Or maybe you're more emotional. Maybe you're just feeling the waves of emotions, of past experiences all the time. And again, this is in the way, so we need to clear it out. We need to move. We need to use our brain, we need to challenge it, train it, in order to be our own best healer, our own best creator. 2 more breaths here. Then take a big inhale, exhale through the mouth. Walk back onto your hands. Rooting to your left hand, reach the right arm up. Take a nice chest opener. Take 5 flows with the hand through the foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last two. And one. Hand on the ground. A little release. Lift your hips up and take circles with those hips. And then toe heel that right foot inside of your hand so your hands frame that foot. In that runner's lunge. If it's too strong, come onto your fingers. If that's still too strong, use blocks or your bolster to rest your fingers on. And just drop your head. Again, feel that stretch through the whole spine. A really deep, deep compression of that hip joint. If you're not feeling it, draw the left knee back a little bit. Make sure the back foot is flat. And back to our visualization. In the breath through the left nostril. Up to third eye. Clearing all blockages. Exhale out through the right. Clearing away anything that's stopping you from seeing clearly, from hearing clearly. Watch that breath. Back off if you need to. Adjust if you need to. Go deeper if you can. If your body opens and surrenders in this pose. Yeah, you'll feel this build up sometimes of a sensation. I don't know whether it's 100% physical, but sometimes a breath. Exhale through the mouth helps to let it go. Soften the hips slower. 3. 2. And 1. Lifting your hips up, move the bolster away. Hands as you gently extract your leg and draw it back. Yeah. I gave you an easy release. Forgot the hamstring stretch, didn't we? Bring our foot back. You're not getting out that easily. Foot comes back. We're going to come into that low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge forwards. Inhale, reach up. Keep rooted through that front foot. Last one. Next inhale, reach up. Hands can come down. Draw your hips up and draw your toes to your nose. You may like your block, or you might sit straight back onto your heel, or allow the bum to come to the side and the foot to come outwards. So you can either use your block underneath your bottom, or you can be standing on your knees, keeping your hips lifted, and your bolster can be used for those of you sitting back under your knee. And we fold forwards in either position that we're in. Lengthening through the chest and then folding. Most of us will feel this hamstrings, lower back. There may be connections here through to the pelvis itself. So again, with that exhale, soften. And on the inhale, draw in more space. We're releasing physical blockages, of course, but they correspond to an etheric level. Those meridians, these nadis that take prana all around our body, and when they become blocked, that's where we get physical issues. So just as much as we want to keep ourselves in physical health, we also want to keep ourselves in etheric health. It's like we don't just need a gym, we need an etheric gym. Yeah, for hippies. I wonder how many people would go, come and flex your chakras here. Yeah, could be onto something. I'd be more colourful than a regular gym. My gym's always so dull in how they look, isn't it? Mm. So last minute here, see if you can soften a little more. Imagine your hips hinging. Imagine your belly touching your thighs. Exhale through the mouth when you need. Last 3 breaths here. Breathe through the backs of those legs, lower back. Let go of fear. Fear of being heard, fear of being seen, fear of being known. Intimacy. But of course, it's always their problem, really, isn't it? One more breath. And then gently walking yourself up, move away the props. Come onto your hands and draw that right leg out. Ooh. Shake the leg out, not off. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And take any movement, maybe figure of 8s to start with, maybe cat-cows. Any movement that feels good. We're going to sit back in a little child pose. And we're going to walk our hands over to the left-hand side. So walking them off the mat and to the left-hand side, but keep your knees facing forwards. So you should feel this through the right side of the body. Just go as far as you can feel comfortable, and if your head in this position doesn't touch the ground, just grab your block and pop your head on the block. Breathing down that right side of your body, making space here. Gently and compassionately. Try not to pull with those arms. But if If you're feeling it, you're doing it. Feel the breath as you breathe in. Feel where it works, where it is. And on your inhale now, hold the breath in a little bit. At the top of the breath, gaze to third eye, and on your exhale, watch it flow out. Pause with the breath out, then inhale. Pause with the breath in. Exhale. Pause with the breath out. If this is too much, go to regular child, otherwise we're here for another 4 breaths. Pausing with the breath in, pausing with the breath out. And on the next inhale, walking your hands to center, stretch, and then walk them over to the right hand side, stretching your left side body. Again, move the block where you need it to be, if your head doesn't naturally touch the ground. Feel as the breath rises in your body, the increase in the stretch on that left side. And again, draw the breath in, hold the breath in, exhale, hold the breath out. Even if you're just doing the breath, you're doing the majority of the work. Finding that place of peace at the top and the end of the breath. Gazing towards third eye, using that breath to bring in what you need and let go of what you don't. Last 3 breaths here. Last one. And then walking the hands up. Have a little stretch forwards in a regular child. Reach through your right hand and reach through your left hand. And then coming to sitting. So just move your feet to the front. And extend your legs out forwards. So you're going to take your belt. If your belt has been done up in a circle, just pop it over your head. Or if it hasn't, bring it behind your back. And if it hasn't been threaded, take it through 2 hoops and then back through 1 hoop. You want to hold the buckle slightly to the side ideally with the pull cord towards you. So work out whichever side of your body so that your pull is naturally folding towards you, not away from you. And we're going to bring the soles of our feet together and hook that over the top of our feet with our soles of our feet together. And if that doesn't feel good, then don't do it. I'll give you a variation. And draw this tight but not crazy tight. So if you're not using the prop, that's okay. I'm going to grab our bolster, put it directly behind us, lengthways. Put it this way. If you've got a squished bolster like me, then you might need an extra block on top of it. So you're either with the bind or without the bind, doesn't matter. You can have your soles of your feet together if you're not using the belt, or you can have your legs out straight and just go for the chest opener. Position yourself so that when you lie back, you don't feel any tension in your lower back. You need to have a little bit of space between the base of your body and the bottom of the bolster. The block is a really nice way of opening the chest a little bit more. Then we bring our arms out to the sides to 90 degrees. If you've tightened your belt too tight, you might not be able to go backwards. And if you're back and you're not feeling it using the belt, then just pull on that cord that's towards you and pull it tighter. This is where I discover who is one of those, what do they call it? Sadomasochists or something, like causing pain to themselves. Yeah. And I refer you to therapists afterwards. Those of you listening to your body, well done. And your arms out to the sides to see where you want the stretch on your chest. Those of you with hip issues, be really mindful here. You may just want to bring your legs out straight with the feet dropping out. Yeah, adjust the block as feels right for you and for your spine. And breathe into that heart space. So as much as we have the bind, we have the hip opener, our focus actually is on the chest now. We did the two sides of our bodies, and now this is a real expansive opener. So bring your mind's eye into your heart. Let your legs be heavy. Let your arms be heavy. And let your heart be open. Open to feeling. Open to experiencing. Open to loving. And in the center of that heart, find a still point. And breathe into that place of stillness. If it becomes too strong for your chest, just bring your arms down closer to your sides. The more outwards from the body, the more intense. And if you can't concentrate on the breath, then you need to bring the arms down a little bit. And wherever your arms are, just let them be heavy. Fingers heavy, palms heavy, forearms heavy, elbows heavy, triceps, biceps heavy. And if you like visualizations, you can imagine a little candle burning in your heart. You know, the outside edge of the flame kind of dances, but there's a stillness within the middle of that candle. There's a light within you whenever things get dark. Now into that heart space, we're going to start to lengthen our breath. So breathing out, 2, 3, 4, In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In your own time. Nice, long, smooth breath, lengthening at the edges. With a great intention on your exhale to let go of all that's in the way of you truly seeing yourself as a soul, infinite, awesome. And on your inhale, draw in that light, that illumination which leads you in the darkest of nights. Last 3 long breaths. See if you can take it to the count of 8 in your mind. Maybe even 9 or 10. And then on your next inhale, bring your arms up over your head. Even if they don't touch the ground, just above your head. Feel the stretch through the whole front body. And without touching the ground, sweep along the sides of your body. Bringing your hands towards your belt, seeing if you can release the buckle. So that you can release your legs. Stretching your legs out. Roll onto your left hand side off your props. And come back onto your back on the ground. Draw your knees into your chest. And just rock your knees from side to side. So you can move the belt to your side, but we're going to hold on to that belt. So we're going to extend our legs to the sky. So just notice when you do that what's happening, how much work you've got to put into lifting your legs. Variation 1. Bend the knees, soles on the floor, lift your hips and place a bolster or a block underneath your lower back. Lift your legs and note the difference. Are you able to hold your legs in the air a little more easily? So your bolster's underneath your lower back. If it's still hard work, use your belt around the soles of your feet and just let your arms draw onto the sides of the belt. That's variation 3 is particularly for those of us with really tight hamstrings. But if you could just let them float, bring your arms out to the sides, palms facing up. And here we turn everything upside down. Take a big inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. What if we were to view ourselves and others not on how we look, but on how we are, how we live our lives with grace, compassion, and forgiveness? Whether we're bringing love into the lives of others, compassion, forgiveness, peace, purpose, service. All of these words are words of our soul nature. If we were to look ourselves in the mirror, and instead of looking at our outward appearance, if we were just to look at ourselves into our eyes, into our hearts, how open, how forgiving, how compassionate our hearts are. Use the breath, either lengthen it, or use the pausing, or do the left to right side, whichever breath you connected with most. With your exhale, letting go of what needs to be let go of. With the inhale, drawing in more light, more space, more peace. Uncovering the peace that was always there. Maybe you feel sensations in your legs. If it becomes too strong, do bend your knees. Otherwise, you're using the breath and you're using your mind to enliven the oxygen that you're breathing in, to bring prana and life to those places in your body that needs it most. Last 3 breaths here. And then gently bending your knees. Bringing your heels towards your thighs, hugging in those knees towards your chest. And then just kicking your legs. See if you can kick your bum or kick your thighs. Doesn't matter if they don't kick. And if they do, don't worry if you kind of think it feels kind of nice. Yeah, that's not weird. I don't think. Faster. Don't hurt yourself again. And then just shake your legs. Give them a good shake upside down. Now, soles of the feet on the ground. Carefully move the bolster away. Take your knees back into your chest. We're just going to do one stretch as we drop our knees to our left, look to our right. Take 3 breaths. And a nice spinal twist here. And then over to the other side, knees up, and over to the right as you look to the left. One more. and back to center. Extending your legs out to Shavasana, arms out from your body. Move away in props. Grab your blanket and your eye pillow. I'll bring blankets for those of you who don't have them, don't worry, just grab your eye pillows. You could use the bolster underneath your knees if you like. Allow the feet to drop out to the sides. Allow the hands to be turning up to the sky. Take a big inhale and exhale. Give everything up to the ground. Bringing your awareness to your toes, letting them be heavy. The soles of your feet. The bridge of your foot and your ankle. Allowing that weight to spread up through the calves and the knees, and the thighs, and the hips and pelvis. Allowing space to creep into all of the abdominal organs. Lightness, space, peace. And up to the diaphragm and lungs and heart. Allowing there to be harmony and peace in all of those organs. And shoulders and arms are held, supported, down through your elbows and forearms and wrists and palms and fingers, relaxed. And your throat is free and open, able to communicate the voice of your soul. Your jaw relaxed. Your face soft. Eyes surrender. Your third eye open to knowing your truth, knowing your path. Ever open and watching. Brain relaxes. Scalp and skull and crown of your head soft. Open to receiving inspiration. Your whole body relaxed, peaceful. Connected at one. Watching that breath. Just watching. Nothing but that breath. Bringing the breath into your heart. What is your soul crying to do, to experience, to express, to make? Last 3 breaths into the heart. See if you can make them big. Bigger and deeper as you allow the sensation of the heart to spread through your chest. Up to your shoulders, down to your pelvis, out to your arms, down to your toes, up to the crown of your head and out. Feel yourself radiating light and love and goodwill. Compassion and forgiveness as you walk, as you talk, as you make, as you express, as you do. Taking a deep inhale, stretching through your toes and your fingers. Finding that gratitude for this body once again. This physical body, emotional body, and this mind. Wiggle through your fingers, wiggle through your toes, bring your hands together and rub your hands. Bring your warm palms to your eyes, pushing off your eye pillows. And looking into the darkness. Massage your face, your temples, your scalp, your jaw. And see how you feel. Now those of you who need a longer lie down, just stay there. Those of you who are going to join in the final Om, just roll onto your left side and gently push yourself up to seated, whether you're using a block or not. We can bring our left hand to our heart with our right hand on top. If you're still lying down, you might like to bring your left hand onto your heart, right hand on top. And either sounding Om or feeling its vibration as you take an inhale and exhale. Inhale for Om. And just feeling that vibration, bowing your head, recognizing that sound of your soul. Namaste. Thanks very much, everyone. Those of you lying down, I'm sure you can stay here. That's fine.